Assalamu alaikum, everybody. So today's vlog is actually kind of by accident, but I'm kind of glad it happened because it gives me a chance to talk about something else. Me and my grandma went to see Iron Man 3 today, and before I say anything else, Iron Man, 2 thumbs up. Epic, awesome, hot, sexy, on fire, entertaining, just terrific. Go see it if you haven't seen it already. I will find a trailer for the movie, post it in the description down below. Watch it, go see it, support it. So far, it is beyond the best Marvel comic movie I have seen yet. So that's coming from a girl. So go watch it. Okay, so my vlog for today was originally supposed to be in the movie theater, playing around and all that stuff, having fun in the movie theater. So last night I realized my battery on my camera was low. Plugged it into charge all night, waiting for, something good to happen today. I didn't know I was going to the movies till this morning. Get in the car. We're driving off, right? So excited. We were going to go have some Mexican and food and then go see the movies. So excited. We get in the car and I realized my battery was still plugged in charging. I had my camera, I had my tripod, and I actually had my memory card in my camera this time. No battery. I was like, dang it! But, alhamdulillah, now I can talk about this, which is actually kind of a pretty funny story. Kind of, maybe not funny, ha, funny, like, ironic. But, yeah, my grandma, who died last year, my grandma and my grandpa, rest their souls. They were both big, major, huge, enormous time Southern Baptist Christians. Okay, that's what I was raised, and my grandma pretty much, oh, pretty much, like to pick on anybody or anything. Okay, if she said her favorite color was yellow and you came in the house wearing green, she'd say, "Why aren't you wearing yellow? You know that's my favorite color." Just like any little thing she could argue about with you, she did it. So when I converted, yeah, I don't, God, I wish I could remember when I told everybody that I converted, but I really can't because that was actually a really bad time in my life right now. So Islam kind of saved me in that way too. But I know everything that happened after, and it's kind of crazy. Um, I would tell everybody I'm not the terrorist. My grandma's the terrorist. I'm being terrorized because it was really intense sometimes. And my grandpa, love his heart, he would just sit there, just nod or not even pay attention. Like at least he showed respect, like, and he even told me once, he's like, I don't believe it, but if that's what you want, if that's what makes you happy. One thing that really, I don't know, a lot of times it hurts me even now when I think about it. And not so much because of my grandma, because we had like so many fights and stuff. So it was actually kind of, I can't believe I'm gonna say this on camera, but it was actually kind of relief when she died because it was like, oh, okay, now you can breathe. Now you can live your life. Now you can move and be happy. But that's the way it was. She told me one time during one of our arguments, sorry, my phone's buzzing, that when she dies, we're never gonna see each other again. And that kind of like hit my insides a little, because, and I worry about that too. Like, as Christians and Muslims, are we going to different places? I mean, we both believe in heaven and hell, you know, just different ways to get there. Christians say Jesus is the only way, and Muslims say no, like you have to do good things and you have to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy to get you in heaven, because like that's Allah's place. That's not your place. You're not guaranteed that. So, I know what she was saying is true, but the reasons, excuse me, why it hurt me was because she was only saying that to try to get me to go back to Christianity so she could, not because she even loved me or cared about me, just so she could win the argument and say she was right. That's the kind of attitude she had about it. And also because I know that my grandpa believed the same as she did. So the idea that maybe I can't ever see my grandpa again really, really hurts me. Like, tears me up inside because I love my grandpa. He's my world. Even now that he's gone, he's my world. Um, but alhamdulillah, like, I still believe heaven isn't for us. Heaven is for Allah, to still worship Allah, to finally be at peace. And yeah, so moving on. My grandma, as anti-Muslim and as much as she hated me being a Muslim, was whatever, she's actually one of the two people that made me become Muslim. In fact, she was the first person to ever teach me anything about Islam. And I will never forget it. I had to have been only 3 or 4 years old. And like, I do not remember much of my childhood at all because of some bad experiences that I've been through. Um, God, probably 4 or 5 years ago now. It's caused me to block even a lot of my childhood out. But I'll never forget this. I was 3 or 4 years old. We were sitting in the kitchen, and my uncle was in a war overseas at the time. And by the way, that's another thing. If there's anybody out there that says Muslims don't like soldiers or whatever, all I gotta say is back up, because my uncle was a soldier. My brother-in-law, which I don't even like to say in-law, my brother is a soldier. So whatever, losers. Muslims love soldiers. Anyway, off my little power trip there. She was telling me he was having like kind of a rough time socially, because he was left-handed. And I was like, well, what does that have to do with anything? Even at 3 or 4 years old, I was like, so what? And she's like, well, people overseas don't use their left hands. I was like, why not? And she's like, well, they wipe their butts with their left hands and they think it's like wrong and stuff. So if he was to like eat with his left hand or wave hi to somebody with his left hand, I'll never forget. She's like, it's like he's giving them the finger. Like 3 or 4 year old little kid, and you're talking about giving the finger. So in my 3 and 4 year old head, okay, I'm still thinking that, well, I'm right-handed, so I won't be in trouble. Hello, sign one. And it's just so funny. Like, she always wanted me to dress modestly and everything. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. Before I was Muslim, I was all about being comfortable. Being comfortable before Islam, to me, meant showing as much as you can without showing everything. So, alhamdulillah, Islam saved me a lot. Changed me so much. So, that was another thing. And actually, like I said, I grew up Southern Baptist too. And the church I was going to, I went from every Sunday from the time I was born until I was 16, I think. I think I was 16. And basically, every time Sunday morning would roll around, I would either fake a cold, fake cramps, I threw up, I don't feel good, I'm too tired, I went to bed late, anything to not go to church. Just because I wasn't agreeing with some of the things that was going on and being said in that particular church. I didn't like the preacher. I didn't want anything to do with him. I was just done. Like, I didn't want any part of it at all. So, finally, after maybe like a month and a half or so, she finally pulled me. She always smoked and stuff on the back porch. So whenever she wanted to talk to somebody, she'd be like, come out to the back porch. So she asked me, she's like, why haven't you been to church? So I opened up a little and I told her, and she's like, well, that's no excuse to stop going to church. She was like, if you don't like the church, why don't you go to the church your great grandma goes to? Hold on, I'm drinking my dinner. By the way, in the other vlog I did, I made the shake with the fruit. If you remember, if you watch, if you subscribe. So I'm still drinking it, and it's okay, and it fills you up. Like, I don't know, it's like eat something at night this is gonna last me like forever. I'm gonna be so full. But probably about 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll get a tiny bit hungry, so I'll snack on sunflower seeds or something like, I don't know, whatever I got in the cabinet. But so um so yeah, she told me to go to my great grandma's church. Now, I grew up in like a little area we called a village. Yes, I said it. I grew up in a village. A village. No hating people. Village girl. Right here. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Well, that was a big thing for my grandma to say because she was Southern Baptist. My great grandma is United Methodist. So that was pretty much like switching religions. Even though it was like still Christian, it was like not the same. So that was like a major thing for her. And, you know, she always taught me to love God, believe in God, pray, do good, all that kind of stuff. So, um, I started going to that church, and I actually got really religious there. I felt really good. People were nice and loving, and actually, I really liked the way they did their communion too, because the communion from the church that I was going to, you would somebody would bring you the cracker, and you would eat it, and then someone else would bring you the juice, and you drink it. And I always thought, if this represents Jesus, and Jesus died for us, for our sins, but still somebody keeps bringing something to us, I'm like, there should be something where we go to get it. Because like, if Jesus died for us and we're supposed to accept it of our own free will, why can't we go and get the stuff ourselves? Like, it just made more sense to me. I always thought it was kind of selfish, like, give me, give me, give me, give me kind of thing. But in this little church, it was really, really awesome because you would go up to the altar area, you would kneel down, and they had like a unleavened loaf or whatever you call it, some kind of round kind of bread thing, and you would pinch off a piece, and then they would bring a cup of grape juice, and you would dip it in and eat it that way. But you had to go up for it, unless you were like really, really old or handicapped or something. Then they would bring it to you. So I really, really liked the way they did that. Anyway, off topic again. So, yes. So she taught me all of that stuff, which was really, really ironic. She let me go outside the faith in a way. And it's just really, really ironic that she taught me so many things about Islam. But then she wasn't happy when I went to Islam and became Muslim. I don't know. I think looking back, the signs were there all along for me. They really were. And I'll talk about it some more in tomorrow's vlog. I'll do my conversation. There are a lot of conversations going on YouTube, so I thought I would make mine, and it will kind of flow with this video, inshallah. But yeah, so I guess if I could say anything to my grandma now, it would be thank you for everything, and also be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. I mean, yeah. Like I said, she was the kind of person, if it's not her way, it's the wrong way. So, I don't know. But I just want to say, everybody love each other. Everybody get along. Everybody work together. Make the world a better place, because government's going to take over soon, and it's not going to be a really good place. So, let's hang on to what we got while we got it. So, anyway, love, peace, and applesauce. Mwah. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.